The Fast Track with Tim Jankovic. I am Rich Phillips, along with the head coach of the SMU Mustangs, Tim Jankovic, here at Ozona Grill and Bar. Welcome, Coach. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. I hope we don't get iced in. I heard there's ice coming. We don't have ice in Dallas, do we? There's no such thing.
I think we can make it for an hour, can't we?
I hope.
It's going to be colder where we're going.
That's what I hear. We're going to my home, by gosh. So don't start making.
Are you
fun.
from Wichita?
No, but Kansas.
Oh,
it's
okay.
the state
All
of
right.
Kansas. So no, I'm not from Wichita. But
I don't know where you're from in Kansas.
okay, well, you should have done your research before the.
Care to tell us?
Okay, well, you asked. Now that
Sure.
you ask, well, I wasn't born in Kansas. You want to hear the whole log cabin story?
Go for it.
Gary, Indiana. I was born in Gary, Indiana.
So we're not going to your home.
Well, but then we moved to Kansas City when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
So really Kansas became home to me, and then we lived in Kansas City for 3 years, and then we moved to Manhattan. So Manhattan feels like home to me. That's where I was third grade on. So thanks for asking.
You
Thanks
got
for
it.
caring. Thanks for caring.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be in Wichita, where I think tomorrow night it's supposed to be maybe 6 degrees. So.
We played in the state championship, in the state tournament, I should say, in the same building that we're going to. So I have every year, when I was at Illinois State, Wichita was in our league, so we went there every year. So I got to painfully relive the championship game of the state high school basketball tournament where we lost by 1 point. That was so every time I walk in that building, and I know you didn't ask about this. I'm just
I like to let you
talking.
freewheel on the show.
We're freelancing. So anyway, that's what came to mind when you said Wichita, and that I was going that building, and it all comes back.
Well, that's where we will be Wednesday night, by the way, at 6 o'clock, SMU taking on Wichita State. And, Coach, we got another kind of streak we have to talk about.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to talk. I talked, but he couldn't talk last week about the win streak. But now that it's over, now we have to talk about another kind of streak, unfortunately.
We can talk about
You
whatever you want to
Let's talk about the win streak first, though. And it obviously was disappointing. Wednesday night comes to an end, 66-64 to Temple. You kept, you knew it was there. Your players knew it was there. It had been 33 consecutive games at home, was one shy of matching the school record. How much do you think that affected your guys? How much did it affect you?
For me, none. I mean that sincerely. I don't know for our guys. I really don't know. It's not something I talked to him about. I wanted to not have it be a deal, But even before the game, there were several TV, that rarely happens before the game where they have live coverage and everything at Moody before the game, and they were talking to me about the streak, and it was all about the streak, and so our guys, there's no way they could not have been, but. I think it's wrong for me to say that that's why we lost. That sounds like a huge excuse. Whether it put a little pressure, I don't know, and I never asked them, but I know that they were incredibly disappointed afterwards.
And so now you got the other kind of streak.
Yeah.
3 straight. What's been
Yes.
going on in this streak here?
Well, one of them is we went to Cincinnati.
Uh-huh.
That's one. Almost no one. What do they got? They had the longest.
They
got
do.
the longest streak in America.
They
right?
do, yes.
So nobody's winning there. Tulane, unfortunately. So the other 2 games, amazingly, this is how fine the line is in our profession. We've lost 2 one-possession games. We lost a one-possession game at Tulane and played without our starting 5-man. He didn't go on the trip, and so your margin is that close. And then we lose, our streak in our home on a one-possession. Incredible 2 of the 3 shots they hit down the stretch were unbelievable. The shot to beat us was amazing. The running left-handed hook over arguably our best defender who guarded as well as he could. Jure was, terrific. And so, we didn't shoot the ball well. We didn't make free throws at all. But it's a fine line. It's a tough competitive. Look around the country at conference play. I mean, it's amazing when you go into conference how you think it's going to. And then you start looking at conference play, and I tell you what, every night you need some good luck, you need some good fortune, you need a good bounce, you need a good call, you need a free throw to go in here and there, and those things have gone against us. It's been a tough little stretch.
Are you a little concerned about the mental state of your team?
Well, always when yes, of course, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of faith in them competitively and their character, and that's really what And here's something else that, and I we live in the world of winning, but it can't only be about winning. It can't only, like, our players can't define themselves only by winning. If they do, then they're missing out, to me, on so much. So we talk a lot about, how you handle adversity and how are you going to respond and who are you really and what are you made of, and is disappointment going to make you stronger or weaker? Are you going to get sad or are you going to get mad? And in your life, you're going to have way bigger disappointments and way more adversity than losing a few basketball games. So I think that sometimes that gets lost on, these are young men. These are kids almost. I've got a young man in my house. He's a senior in high school, and we got several guys on our team that are 1 year ahead of him. And
yeah.
I know what that means. I know exactly what that means. And so, we play to win. We compete to win. We are in the winning game. We are in the world of trying to win. But if that's all we ever talk about with our players, and if it's all we ever care about, and if they don't win, we don't like them, and when they do win, we do like them, then I think as coaches, as people, I think we're missing that boat drastically. So I have faith in them. I worry about their, psyche, of course, when you lose. I worry about psyche when we're winning X number of games in a row, because there's the opposite side of that, of complacency. And then, of course, now you wonder their confidence. And so I hope that they can maintain a similar confidence that what we had earlier in the year or last year or whenever. So, of course, yes, absolutely.
So you mean to tell me they don't go from high school graduation to being suddenly a mature adult the very next year? They're in college, right?
Shockingly.
It doesn't work that way?
Shockingly. And I try to look back as best I can, although the years are starting to mount to where my memory's not quite as fresh, but exactly where I was at that point. What I was feeling when I was playing college basketball, and when good things were going on, how I was reacting, and when bad things were going on, and winning, losing, whatever. And so I try to draw from that, but I also can remember how much I thought I knew then and how little I really knew then. And as the years go by, you kind of sort that out and realize, man, I just knew, a tiny, tiny bit of what I needed to know about the whole extent of how the world works and how my life was going to unfold and what I needed to really better myself at.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic every Monday night, 7 to 8 here at Ozona Grill and Bar and on 770 KAAM. Later in the show, we will have the Ask the Coach segment. Ask questions of the coach by going to SMUMustangs.com, submitting your question on the Ask the Coach button. You can submit your questions on Twitter using the hashtag FastTrack, or you can join us live in person each Monday night at Ozona Grill and Bar from 7 to 8 here on Greenville Avenue, and submit your question with one of our staff members here on site. SMU does go to Wichita State this Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, but we'll look back at last week a little bit and got a couple of things that I'm wondering are some trends with your team that you're worried about, Coach, and we'll do that next year on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic.
While you're enjoying SMU basketball, More Disposal and Recycling Services is busy managing your trash. We do the dirty work so you don't have to. More Disposal offers complete waste management, from equipment purchases and installation to service and maintenance, all completed in-house. No job is too big or too small. We also offer Paper Retriever, a free paper recycling program for schools and churches. Call 214-357-HELP and let's talk trash. That's 214-357-HELP. Family owned and operated by SMU alumni, More Disposal supports SMU basketball. Pony up!
Business is a game, and if you want to win, you have to be faster, smarter, and more focused than the competition. Which is why SMU Cox offers the Fast Track 1-year MBA, designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Learn from world-class faculty, study with driven peers, and connect to a global alumni network spanning 80 countries. The Fast Track 1-year MBA, a major career highlight, only from SMU Cox. More online at coxgrad.com.
When it comes to your signage needs, trust the experts at Fast Signs North Central. With more than 50 years of knowledge, Fast Signs North Central will help provide you with a true turnkey experience. From branding and design work to complete production and installation, let Fast Signs North Central make your vision a reality by calling 214-890-4444 or find them online at fastsigns.com/11. Fast Signs North Central. More than fast, more than signs. Highland Park, Preston Hollow, and Lakewood Emergency Rooms, the official freestanding ER of SMU, and your neighborhood no-wait ER. With 3 facilities conveniently located near you, we're able to provide the Dallas area with upscale, quality care for all your emergency needs. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit HighlandParkER.com for more information. Highland Park, Preston Hollow, and Lakewood Emergency Rooms. Pony up.
He's down and might be out for the season.
What if basketball players had warranties? It's not pretty when you see your star player go down. It could change the whole season. But what if players had warranties? Like the 2017 Nissan Titan with America's best limited truck warranty. They'd be up and running in no time. Take on today. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the SMU Mustangs. Call 1-888-858-8319 or see dealer for limited truck warranty details.
If you're an SMU fan, you bring your game face to the game. But if you're an SMU super fan, your car brings its game face too. By wearing an official red and blue SMU toll tag. Because super fans know nothing says you pony up everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag, just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The North Texas Toll Tag Authority. Get there smarter.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic. I am Rich Phillips with the head coach of the SMU Mustangs every Monday night from 7 to 8 at Ozona Grill and Bar. Come see us next week. Also tune in on 770 KAAM. Wednesday nights, 5:45 here on KAAM is our pregame show. 6 o'clock the tip for SMU against Wichita State. TV-wise, it will be on ESPNU. Last week, just one game. First off, how'd you spend your weekend off?
We worked a lot.
I bet.
No, we worked a lot. We, when you have time, although, it's been tough. We've had a lot of guys out. And so this is the period here where when you're not in school, a lot of times you can really do a lot of practicing. But with our limited numbers and with some guys injured, dinged up that we have to get recovered, it's been less work than you'd actually like to do, but we did spend we didn't rest. There was no rest, I can tell you that for sure.
Last Wednesday night, 66-64 Temple with the win at Moody Coliseum. One thing that I'm wondering how disturbing the trend is for you with the team is, I don't know if it's to say they come out flat, but the first half performances have gotten you too often, I guess, behind a little bit. And behind by, 6 the other night. Yes. How concerned are you with the first half showing for your team?
It's mostly about the offensive confidence, really. And so because of that, I see that. I also see that, the longer you go, sometimes people start to figure out some of your weaknesses. And that can work against you as well, and they prepare against some of those, and then sometimes you have to make adjustments at halftime based on the fact that they're playing you different than they've played other people. I mean, that's a little bit of the chess match that goes on, but of course, we're we haven't got out of the gate great in a while, and but I hope that somewhere along the line our confidence will click back in and we score more easily in the first half, and just kind of have that feeling that you've seen this team or teams before have, and so hopefully that'll take place. Any
idea what's affecting that confidence? I mean, obviously the losing streak right now, but any idea prior to this what was starting to affect the confidence a little bit early in games?
No. I mean, it's how do you know that? How do you know what's if I'd be having people on my couch. I'd be a psychoanalyst, which sometimes you need to be for sure. But no, it's basketball is a funny game that way. It comes and goes offensively, and sometimes your team really feels it. Sometimes they don't. Maybe they played tight the other night. You just asked did we play tight because of the streak? I have no idea. Mm-hmm. No idea. No possible way. And you can't go afterwards, hey, were you a little tight because, they're all going to say, you got to be kidding me. No, they're always going to say that. So it's very difficult to get to the truth of the matter. What you do see is just, the results. How do we look? And so, at some point, I hope quickly that gets turned around and they basically we haven't shot the ball very well. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you really break it down, we've been a poor free throw shooting team, which is amazing. Like, it's cost us many games. Like, all the losses almost, the free throw shooting We're basically 50% the other night with a really good shooting team potentially. We lose a couple other close games this year on either one or two late free throws that we make them, we have the lead, we in position. So if you look at the fine line, I mean, if I had one thing, it'd be, gosh darn, if we could make some free throws in about 3 games. That would be my first wish. But hardest thing to control in the world, no matter how much you practice them, talk about them, don't talk about them, try to fix them. Incredibly fickle. I would equate it with anyone that golfs. It's putting. It's putting, and when you're stroking it good, it's so easy, and you can hit it from anywhere. And then when sometimes it's like, oh my God, it looks like a BB up there. So for whatever reason, shockingly to me, we have not been a good free throw shooting team.
That's the thing that surprises me, because by and large, you got a lot of good shooters on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the way they shoot while guarded. Do we need to get somebody standing in front of them at the free throw line to see if that helps?
I'm about to tell them, shoot a jump shot. Don't shoot a free throw, just shoot a darn jump shot, and which might be better for some. But if you'd asked me before the year, what are your, list your top 4 concerns, free throw shooting, would never have been on there. No possible way it would not have been on there. So that's been one of the most surprising things. Some of the other things are not surprising to me, given our our roster and all the things that have happened to us. But free throw shooting, no, I'm very surprised about that.
We should give credit, though. He misses 2 the other night, but Jeray Foster has been vastly improved at the free throw line this year. He's been about a 55, 57% shooter, and he is almost at 70%.
Yeah, he looks much more comfortable.
Yeah, and that's huge for a guy who is that active going to the basket.
Yeah, he's such a great offensive rebounder, such a great driver. He's become a very good three-point shooter. And it's great to see that he is settling down at the free throw line for sure.
Now, while you did struggle with some guys shooting the other night, one guy who didn't struggle, and he hadn't struggled much at all this year shooting, has been your leading scorer, Sheikh Milton. Scores 25 the other night, 8 of 12 from the floor to 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. What's impressed you most about the next step he has taken this year in his development?
Yeah, kind of what you just said. He could feel like in that game he had to try to take the game over, and he's that caliber of a player. We didn't have a lot of other guys really feeling their rhythm or feeling confident, and he basically took the game in his own hands and was just terrific the second half, and so he has that ability, and I think he's got the drive and the confidence that he can try to do that, and I'm very thankful for him because he's such an amazing player and has been for a long time here.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic every Monday night from 7 to 8 at Ozona Grill and Bar, brought to you in part by ZipRecruiter. Find qualified candidates quickly and easily with ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. ZipRecruiter, the leading job site of Mustang fans everywhere. For a free trial, go to ZipRecruiter.com/SMU. It is back on the road Wednesday night for SMU. Let's talk about the state of a team playing on the road coming up next year on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic.
Mustangs basketball season has arrived, and our good friends over at the Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue have the perfect spot with the best patio in town. So head on over to Ozona and watch the madness unfold on TVs while eating some great West Texas favorites and drinking some ice-cold drinks. Again, that's Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue. Look them up at ozonagrill.com. That's ozonagrill.com. Pony up, SMU.
The all-new BMW X3 was built for those who desire more. More passion, more exploring, more leaving your comfort zone and never returning. With iDrive 6.0, available safety features like active blind spot detection and xDrive intelligent all-wheel drive. Because for some, more isn't a maybe, it's a must. The all-new BMW X3, capable of more. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Test drive at one of your local Dallas-Fort Worth BMW centers and take advantage of exclusive offers.
There are Mustangs fans, and then there are Mustangs super fans who pony up with an official SMU toll tag. That's because nothing says hail to the red and blue everywhere you drive like an NTTA SMU toll tag. Just $19.99. To get yours, stop by SMU Parking and ID Services or any toll tag store location. The SMU toll tag from North Texas Tollway Authority. Get there smarter.
When it comes to your signage needs, trust the experts at Fast Signs North Central. With more than 50 years of knowledge, Fast Signs North Central will help provide you with a true turnkey experience. From branding and design work to complete production and installation, let Fast Signs North Central make your vision a reality by calling 214-890-4444 or find them online at fastsigns.com/11. Fast Signs North Central. More than fast, more than signs.
The Learfield Directors Cup honors the nation's best overall collegiate athletic program in each division, men's and women's sports. The prestigious award continues its reign as the crowning achievement in college athletics, noting the remarkable efforts of student athletes and their institutions. To follow your favorite team, like us on Facebook. Find us at USA Today online and on Twitter at ldirectorscup.com. Over 2 decades of excellence, the Learfield Directors Cup.
Are you really into citrus? Ever been rolling down the street, sipping on lemon juice? Do you like bergamots and you cannot lie? You down with vitamin C that grows on trees? Are you really into citrus? If the answer's yes, roll into Central Market's Keepin' It Fresh Citrus Fest, dropping January 10th through 23rd, featuring the largest selection of big, bold citrus, plus items like Chipotle Lime Salmon, Meyer Lemon Marmalade, and more. Info at centralmarket.com. Visit our 5 DFW locations.
Welcome back to the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic, Rich Phillips, and the head coach of the SMU Mustangs here at Ozona Grill and Bar every Monday night from 7 to 8 and on 770 KAAM. I'll be on Wednesday night beginning at 5:45 with the pregame, 6 o'clock the tip for SMU Wichita State. And, Coach, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the road hasn't been very good to you this year.
No, the road's been tough.
And it's not been, by and large, that's not been an issue with this team the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Well,
is there
last
something?
year, it wasn't certainly.
Certainly not. Well, you only lost 5.
Well, but I mean, I don't think it's. I think that I tried to say this at the beginning of the year. I don't think it's fair, to compare this team with last year's team or the teams before because, this is where the probation got us. Okay, This is like they put us on probation for a reason. Okay, and last year was kind of in a way it was amazing because it should have got us last year when we basically played with 7 players down the stretch the whole season. But luckily we were old enough, when we had little did we know we had a 1-year guy that was an early entry into the draft and was an All-American, and we thought he was a 1-point scorer at the time he got from Duke. But so and I was trying to say at the beginning of the year, to be fair to these guys, we returned 3 players on a Division I basketball team. Like that's got to be top 1 of the whole country. And so, what a healthy program does is you have 7 or 8 guys you're building, and you build, and they come back, and they've had this experience of playing, and we had 3, and so we did have a young man sitting out, which that's a good thing. He's got some experience, but he hasn't played in your league, and then we recruited another guy that could play right away that had played well. He got hurt, so he's hurt for the whole time. And so, we just kind of playing. It's a team that I think I'm very proud of what they've been able to do, to be honest with you. I really am. I mean, the fact that some of the wins that these guys have managed, given what little we, togetherness and 3 returning guys that have ever played a game in our league, and we've had a number of injuries, we've had the illness and all that. I'm actually, for me, being fair to them, I'm not disappointed. But is it like last year or the year before? No. But I tried to say at the beginning of the year, I'm behind these guys. I like their character. We just don't have enough experience to maybe play at the same level. But I think we're going to keep getting better and better. And I think the future's bright. And we have good young players. We have another one sitting out. We have signed a couple. So I feel good, and I think this team can still be very, very good. But I don't think it's fair to compare them to years past.
When playing on the road, what are the top 3 things that are different and adversely affect a team when you're on the road?
Well, I would go back to, like, why does the home team mostly always win? That's and that's been a mystery for me for forever. Now, if you're going to say, why does Wichita State, for instance, their home crowd is absolutely amazing. So, or Allen Fieldhouse, or or moody when it's really going, and well, then it's pretty obvious that has an effect, right? But there's also a lot of games where the crowds aren't that big. I'm just talking about college basketball in general, and so the crowds aren't that big, so it's not the crowd that is affecting everything. So what is it? Is the officials subconsciously, do you get much better calls at home? I mean, I don't know. I don't have proof of that. Does the home team just subconsciously try harder, even if there's 20,000 people sitting there or 1,500 people? I've never been able to figure that out. And so I've done this a long time. And it's also what's really confusing to me is I actually always liked playing on the road better. When I was a player, most of my best games were road games. So that makes it even more confusing to me, so I really don't have the answer why it is very, very tough to win on the road. I guess that the home team goes to a different level because there are, whether it's 1,000 or 10,000 or 20,000 people, maybe they feel a little more responsibility. It is hard to play harder than the home team, I think. I think the home team usually plays harder, and not always, but I think that's the best I can come up with anyway.
Certainly travel is a factor too, but we're at a level where we're doing a lot of things to make the travel as good as it can be for the guys.
Yeah, and so it's hard to measure that. But I've heard stories. I've heard these stories, and maybe this is the science of it. I've heard so many stories over the course of the years, and at first I used to get excited, and now I actually would get worried if I heard this story. When you hear, hey, the other team that we're getting ready to play is snowed in, and so they're not going to be able to get in the night before, and then the team gets in like literally an hour before the game. I've heard a bunch of these stories, and plays like crazy, and wins, and so then you're like, well, I mean, what? Maybe we should all just do that, or maybe it's because it takes the pressure off because, hey, we're expected to do nothing right now, and they go out and play loose. I don't know. I have no idea, but I have heard and seen that many, many times when the travel is a nightmare, and does travel make you tired? Does travel make you sluggish? I don't know. If anybody has some science on that, I would be the, bring it to me, because I've thought about it long and hard for years and years and years, and really can't quite come to grips with why it is always harder to win on the road.
The wins count the same, obviously, home and road. Are they more satisfying when they're on the road, especially if it's in a hostile environment?
Yeah, I think those are the most satisfying because they're the hardest. And over my lifetime, those are the ones that I think you feel the most. Although I have to say, there's some of those home ones when the people are going, when it's just going crazy. Those are hard to forget too. So maybe I'd say those are funner, but the most satisfying. That was a good word. The funnest ones are the great home wins where everybody's just loving it, and the most satisfying are the really, really tough environments on the road that you can win in.
When they're heckling you on the way to the bus, that's kind of fun sometimes.
That's good. No, that's all good. That's good. Absolutely.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic. Hopefully they're heckling us on the way to the bus Wednesday night. SMU plays at Wichita State, 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. The show is brought to you in part by the Mustang Band, the hub of SMU Spirit, and now you can show your support by joining the Diamond M Club. Memberships are open to all Mustang fans, and we encourage you to join by visiting diamondmclub.com. Help support the all-volunteer Mustang Band. We are at Ozona Grill and Bar, and we'll do the Ask the Coach segment coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic.
Tired of searching online for custom catering companies? Looking for someone who can craft a special menu for your event? Look no further. The Festive Kitchen has it all, from on-site lunches and drop-off catering to daily handcrafted food for your employees. Let the experts at the Festive Kitchen design a game plan for all of your catering needs. The Festive Kitchen also offers daily food shop specials, weekly entrees, and seasonal food shop menus. Find us at thefestivekitchen.com. That's thefestivekitchen.com.
The all-new BMW X3 was built for those who desire more. More passion, more exploring, more leaving your comfort zone and never returning. With iDrive 6.0, available safety features like active blind spot detection and xDrive intelligent all-wheel drive. Because for some, more isn't a maybe, it's a must. The all-new BMW X3, capable of more. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Test drive at one of your local Dallas-Fort Worth BMW centers and take advantage of exclusive offers.
How do you get large groups of people to and from events? Do what the Mustangs do and rely on Win Transportation. We make it easy. Simply visit GoWin.com, give us the details, and we'll take care of things from there. Win has provided large group transportation for decades to high school, college, and pro sports teams. We also take care of church groups, employee outings, convention travel, casino tours, and more. Your time and your experience is our passion. Visit GoWin.com to book. That's GOWYNNE.com.
J. Paul Roofing is not your ordinary roofing company. We see every job through from start to finish. We are licensed, insured, bonded, have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, have served Texas since 2010 with multiple offices around the state, and are a proud partner of SMU Athletics. Do you have damage from that last storm or just need your roof replaced? Visit jpaulroofing.com to schedule a free consultation and mention SMU for $500 off. At J. Paul Roofing, if you're not satisfied, then we're not finished.
While you're enjoying SMU basketball, More Disposal and Recycling Services is busy managing your trash. We do the dirty work so you don't have to. More Disposal offers complete waste management, from equipment purchases and installation to service and maintenance, all completed in-house. No job is too big or too small. We also offer Paper Retriever, a free paper recycling program for schools and churches. Call 214-357-HELP and let's talk trash. That's 214-357-HELP. Family owned and operated by SMU alumni, More Disposal supports SMU basketball. Pony up!
Business is a game, and if you want to win, you have to be faster, smarter, and more focused than the competition. Which is why SMU Cox offers the Fast Track 1-year MBA, designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Learn from world-class faculty, study with driven peers, and connect to a global alumni network spanning 80 countries. The Fast Track 1-year MBA, a major career highlight, only from SMU Cox. More online at coxgrad.com.
It is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic. I am Rich Phillips. Thanks for joining us here at Ozona Grill and Bar. We're here every Monday night throughout the SMU basketball season from 7 to 8. It's on Greenville Avenue, just a little bit across from where the SMU campus is. Time for our Ask the Coach segment here tonight, brought to you by the SMU Lyle School of Engineering, offering master's programs through on-campus and distance education options with tuition reductions available for military personnel across the globe. Check it out at lyle.smu.edu. Some questions sent in online here this week. First from Steve in Dallas. How do you try and neutralize a team like Wichita State, who is as deep and as athletic as any team in the country?
That's a great question. That is a great question.
You're open for suggestions on that?
Wichita is, they're one of the best teams in America, period. I think they have 7 seniors. The guys that aren't seniors are NBA prospects, potential guys that could go early. So you don't know whether the seniors or the young guys are the ones worse. They are one of the very best teams. They could win the national championship if it all went right. And they're really deep. They play 10 deep. They bring it in waves. Probably as difficult a challenge as you'll ever face, at least in our league, certainly. And of course, Cincinnati's always a tough place to play. But the answer is you're going to have to fight tooth and nail, and you're going to have to try to pick your poison. You can't take away everything without question that they do. There's no way. Certainly with our roster size, depth, we can't take everything away. We can't try to expect to do that. So you have to hope to play a few percentages and try to take away some things that maybe you think are you have your best chance to do. And having said all that, you're going to have to rebound like crazy. They're one of the best rebounding teams in America as well. They're big, they're strong, they're physical, they're old, they're deep, they're great. So it will take an amazing, but not just by us. I mean, look at the people that have gone in there.
Right.
I mean, they beat a lot of people 30, 40 points when they go in there. So not just for us, but for anyone, it is an amazing challenge. Now, they were in the league where I coached before, so I'm pretty used to it. But they didn't have a team this good. They had some great teams, but not this good. This is the best team I think that they've had in years and years.
It's not often that you see a team that is changing leagues and really moving up in a league too, to a league like the American, and they're picked to win it right out of the gate.
Well, the timing was great.
Yeah.
I mean, their time, like I said, this is the best team they've maybe had ever. Maybe, possibly. I would say probably, or unless you go back to the 60s or something. Wichita had some great teams back then, but so their timing was fantastic. It wouldn't, be that way every single year. Had they come in some other years, they would have been a very good team, and for sure, but not like this. This was perfect timing on their part, I must say.
Alan in Plano sends in a question, says, I noticed that we ran a smaller lineup during the comeback early in the second half versus Temple last week. Does having the flexibility help us open the floor and get points in transition?
Yes, for sure. And it helps us in many ways, but hurts us in others. And so it's a little bit of a pick your poison. Part of it is by design, part of it's by necessity, just because, limited numbers and we don't have a lot of big guys, and we're very young at those positions, or we've been injured at those positions, or sick at those positions. So part of it's been necessity, and part of it is by design. But you definitely can change the game. But Temple basically did the same thing. The game turned into all small ball the second half. I mean, they took out, they were playing just as small as we were, and that's what became the game. And I was really proud of the way our guys. What an amazing comeback, and took the lead by 3, and then unfortunately, they hit 2 amazing shots, especially the last one. We didn't convert a couple times, but yes, it's hard to guard those teams. I'm sure they feel that about us. At the same time, you can't just always do that, because it can be negated with some size and some rebounding, and you got to be careful of keeping guys out of foul trouble and all those kind of things. Like, to go to Wichita to just say, hey, let's just play small the whole time,
That's a big order.
That's a big order, a really big order, because some of these guys are awfully, awfully big. And if you're going to do that, you have to shoot great. And to negate the other things going to happen. And so it does become a little bit of a cat and mouse game. But I like it, and it is a great weapon, but I also wish we were in a position that we could really slant it the other way as well.
And Shannon in Dallas sends in asking, to this point, how has Jamaal MacMurray changed the dynamic of your rotation, and any consideration of maybe putting him in your starting lineup?
Well, yes, and that's been, some other things, and not to sound, any explanation for what's going on always sounds like an excuse, so it's hard on my part. When you're winning, it's easy to explain things. When you're losing, it sounds like an excuse. But what has been such a challenge for us, we're sort of in this amazing challenge of a perfect storm, in that we had the injury to Okoye, and now he's finally trying to come back, but he's not near back, and he's missed months of so he's way behind, but we're trying to get him in. And then you've got Jamaal coming in at semester, and you're right in the middle of league play, and it's not like a puzzle where you just put it in, it fits right here. The things take time. That's why you have the preseason. And so we're still trying to really see, who they really are. Who are they really in terms of meshing with everyone else. In Okoye's instance, he hasn't been able to get enough reps or in the kind of shape, just because of his injuries, to really make that judgment. And in Jamaal's case, he's just played for a few games, and so it's still a little bit early. But certainly when he's on, and when the more comfortable he gets, he definitely gives us a heck of a scoring weapon, and he certainly could earn himself more time or a starting role, absolutely.
He burst out in his first game when he was eligible to play against Boise State with 16, obviously a huge hand in that win. But was that maybe almost a detriment in that it got everybody's hopes up so much, thought, there's the answer we need right there?
Well, and he is capable of that. But it's also not, I want to be so fair to him, it's not easy to sit out, and then on December the 18th, you're just plugged into midstream play, and you haven't had a rep. You didn't play in a scrimmage. You didn't play in a game. Even in practice, you're not used like everybody else, because we got to get ready to play Arizona, for God's sakes. We got to get ready to play USC or Boise, so we can't spend all this time with guys that aren't, right. I mean, that's where the preparation, and then all of a sudden, you're thrown into it. I thought he was amazing early on, and then, of course, he's had some really rough games, and I know he's much better than that. So that he's still in that trying to find my comfort zone, and he will. I really believe he will, and because he's too good a player. And when he does, it's going to really, really help us. And lineups, whatever, we'll see how that all goes. But he is capable, as he has already shown, of being a real spark plug for us and a guy that on a given night could score a lot of points.
He had 13 months away from playing too.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. And he, and he missed the summer. He missed summer because of the rules. He chose, and he deserves a lot of credit for this. He chose to actually, transfer here, but he had to go to junior college to do it. He had to take a bunch of classes to become, allowed to do the transfer.
Right.
So give him credit, but the detriment to him and to us was he missed the summer. We practiced all summer, and had we had him all summer, he'd be in a whole different place right now. But we didn't, and nobody's fault at all. But I'm saying that to be fair to him, so people understand. There's a lot of things that have been going against him that he's trying to overcome, and I believe he will. I think he's a heck of a competitor, and I think he's a confident kid, and he's a talented scorer. So I think that's going to play out.
SMU on the road Wednesday night, Wichita State, and then Saturday, home against Tulane. That is a 5 o'clock tip on Saturday against Tulane at Moody Coliseum, and we're going to meet the two enemies coming up next here on the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic.
J. Paul Roofing is not your ordinary roofing company. We see every job through from start to finish. We are licensed, insured, bonded, have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, have served Texas since 2010 with multiple offices around the state, and are a proud partner of SMU Athletics. Do you have damage from that last storm or just need your roof replaced? Visit jpaulroofing.com to schedule a free consultation and mention SMU for $500 off. At J. Paul Roofing, if you're not satisfied, then we're not finished.
The score's tied up. The clock's winding down. The Mustangs pull up for a last-second shot, and yes!
That's when you feel like this is your team. At Park Place, we work hard to make our luxury dealership feel like your place. With an unmatched lineup of world-class cars, dedicated sales experts always there for the assist. From championship-level dealership amenities to flawlessly executed technology, experience the thrill of victory at your place, Park Place. Learn more at parkplace.com.
We're here with Ruthie the Pig from Ruthie's Rolling Cafe. I hear you were voted best food truck in SMU, in the Park Cities, and the entire country. What's next? What you're saying is people can book Ruthie's for a private event. That's a great idea. Ruthie, since you're a pig, I have to ask, you do know that there's pulled pork and ham on the El Cubano sandwich. Where you go? Stay here. Don't leave. Well, Ruthie must be headed to your private event.
Highland Park, Preston Hollow, and Lakewood Emergency Rooms, the official freestanding ER of SMU, and your neighborhood no-wait ER. With 3 facilities conveniently located near you, we're able to provide the Dallas area with upscale, quality care for all your emergency needs. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit HighlandParkER.com for more information. Highland Park, Preston Hollow, and Lakewood Emergency Rooms. Pony up.
Here at SMU, it's all about you, the student athlete. The mission of Mustang U, built by Platinum Series Homes, is to create an environment which enables the student athlete to take charge of their development, cultivate transferable skill sets, and foster holistic growth as they prepare for successful life when they leave the hilltop. The vision of the Mustang U program is based on a foundation created through personal and career development, leadership, and community service. For more information on how you can make a difference, visit smumustangs.com/life skills to learn more. Mustang U, building champions for life.
Slater's 50/50 is baking it rain on Lower Greenville with our famous 50% beef, 50% bacon burgers. In fact, there's nothing we won't put bacon on. Milkshakes, wings, bacon ketchup for our tots. Yeah, we do that. So brunch on our rooftop or catch happy hour with 50 taps and all the big games on TV. Slaters5050.com. Burgers, bacon, beer.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic here at Ozona Grill and Bar every Monday night from 7 to 8. I'm Rich Phillips. Thanks for joining us once again this week. 2 games on tap Wednesday night on the road at Wichita State, Saturday evening at home against Tulane for the SMU Mustangs, and it is time to meet the enemies. Presented by the Cox School of Business, offering the new Fast Track 1-year MBA designed to launch your career in just 12 months. Visit coxgrad.com for more information. We have talked quite a bit about Wichita State already, of course. They're in the top 10 in the rankings once again, 15-2 on the year. The question I have for you, and you mentioned how you played against them a lot at Illinois State, coached against them a lot at Illinois State before you came here to SMU. How did they get to this point? 6 consecutive NCAA tournaments, a couple of Sweet 16s, a Final Four in this span here. I don't know if it's the same to compare them. Are they the Gonzaga of the Midwest, maybe?
Coming
out of a league that you don't expect previously.
Absolutely. No, you could give them that credit without a question. Yes, they've had great basketball tradition for years and years. Wichita State is a storied program. I mean, they have done great things over the years. People here might not know that even as way back, their building has been full for years and years. So they have that tradition in their city. It is a big deal, and that's always. We said that last week. We were talking about the streak and everything. If you could pick one thing, if you have tremendous fan support, and they've had it forever, then you have a chance to really do something special. I think that just, gives you great home court. It helps your recruiting immensely. It motivates your players, all those kinds of things. They've always had that, but have done an amazing job of, sustaining it lately, and have had some great teams. Obviously, they were in the Final Four not long ago, and, of course, KT on our staff was on that staff, so he was in the Final Four, and as I said, I'm not so sure this team, and he would agree, this team's actually probably better than that team. Doesn't mean they'll go there because, a lot of luck, a lot of great teams don't get there, but they have done an amazing job. You got to give them a lot of credit.
When you look at their numbers, their shooting is terrific. Their defensive field goal percentage is terrific. 3-point shooting is great. But that rebounding differential is what just jumps off the page. 11 a game.
Yeah, well, wait till you see their roster when you get there. I mean, they line up. There's 10 deep of high quality guys. I mean, really high quality guys, and they're big, they're physical, they play really hard, and they're a tough out. I mean, they rarely have ever lost at home. I mean, Oklahoma got them, but not. It's counted as a home game, but it was downtown, so. I don't think they've lost, once out of the last 70 games or something at home. I mean, they're pretty amazing for a lot of reasons. Incredible crowd on its own, and yet you add a really, really well-coached team with a really, really old, talented team, and you've got problems. Houston is really good.
Yeah.
Houston is really, really good this year, and I think they were down 40 at one time. So that's what you're talking about. That's how good Wichita is this year. The good news is they have 7 seniors. They got another guy, Mike. So it won't quite.
Maybe they'll have only 3 guys back next year.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And then Saturday, 5 o'clock, Tulane comes to Moody Coliseum. We said this a couple of weeks ago. Not the same Tulane that you're used to seeing. We got to see it, unfortunately, up close a couple of weeks ago. Tulane with a 73-70 win, and that was an impressive second half they had. They rallied from down 12 in the second half.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, we had a good first half there.
Yes.
Yeah, unlike the last couple, right? No, we played so well, controlled the game, and oh my gosh, did they get hot. They got so hot, and, down the stretch made some great plays, and another one possession, guys. And that's what's so, you sit here and you talk about streak and but a possession, that's how close our game is, a possession. We're 2 possessions away from sitting here going, oh, my gosh, everything's hunky-dory, rosy, perfect, and yet it's not. So it is a bottom-line world, and in the course of 40 minutes, you have to try to figure out how to make sure that the one possession or more has gone your way. The best way to win games is that it's not a one possession where you're hoping your shot goes in or your free throw goes in or their running left-handed hook doesn't go in or a guarded 3 doesn't go in. You have to try like crazy to get the game in control where they have to foul you late and you're controlling it and all that. We've seen that many times. So that is the trick, but it's certainly not something that's easy to do.
I know obviously you guys are in full-on game planning mode for Wednesday night, but since you've seen Saturday's opponent, are there a few things that you want to change up for that game?
I honestly, it's a lot like when I was in college. I studied like crazy. I was a crammer. I was a crammer. I would study and study and study and study, and the night before I'd stay up as late as I could, and I'd put all this information in there, and then I'd take the test, and 2 days later I couldn't remember one thing, not one single thing. And preparing for other teams is exactly that way. You cram and cram and cram. You get about 2 days to do it. You watch film day and night, morning, noon, and night, and you study and you study and you study, and you play the game. And as soon as it's over, you can't remember that because you got to get on the next one. And I have tried very hard to never try to, especially after when I was younger, tried to get two teams in your head, and that can really get you messed up. So honestly, I remember some things about them, of course, but anything really strategically, no, I'll have to, as soon as the game Wednesday's over, we'll get on the next one. We'll watch our game there and watch some of their more recent, see if they've made changes, and then go from there.
And I do get that because you don't always know names of guys.
No.
You go off numbers, and you don't want to get numbers confused.
No, I don't, because I don't see why you want the extra, the extra addition. All I want to know is the number in the game. 10 does this, 11 does this, 20 does that. I don't want to learn their name. Their name is complete, and I don't mean that negatively, but it's not going to help us. And so I don't even want our players. We talk about numbers. That's it. We just say 10 is this, 20 is that, and 30 is that, and this is how you play them. Because I also don't want them to give a darn about their reputation. Sometimes I've never heard of him, so he must not be very good. Well, yeah, he's really good. Or I've heard of this guy, and he's great. And, he's not that great just because he's got – so I don't want them to I want them to get on the floor and just know the guy they're supposed to guard, and you figure out whether you think he's good or not, but not have any preconceived. And I think with names, I think you can get that. That's why we never even say a name. We don't. We've always just talked in numbers.
You just kind of fake the names along with us when we do the interviews with you, right?
Well, that's why I always have to have a sheet. And I don't know if you've ever, even in the press room afterwards, I always have to look at the sheet to give somebody credit, because it's like, man, 11 was good tonight. 11 was good, whoever that is. And that's a terrible, I'm not proud of saying that. It's not because I'm, trying not to learn their names. I'm just trying to be as focused on, the important things as I can.
Well, both teams this week have an 11, but Wichita State's 11 is the one we got to worry more about.
Yeah. He's a pro prospect without question. He's he's a candidate to leave early if he chooses to. From Kansas City, he actually redshirted a year there and turned himself into an amazing player. Makes the game look easy. Not a good shooter, but a great shooter, and tremendous, just simple feel for the game. He's got the high-level feel, rarely makes a mistake, and yet he doesn't try to do too much, and that's what a great player does. And I love watching him. Actually, it's the first time I've heard of him a lot. Just started watching him in the last few days, and he's really, 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 really good.
And we'll see him Wednesday night.
He needs to go pro. That's what he needs to do.
I don't think he can do that this week. I don't think he can do that this week.
No, but soon he needs to go.
This is the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic. One more segment. We'll get those keys to success coming up next here from Ozona.
Mustangs basketball season has arrived, and our good friends over at the Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue have the perfect spot with the best patio in town. So head on over to Ozona and watch the madness unfold on TVs while eating some great West Texas favorites and drinking some ice-cold drinks. Again, that's Ozona Grill and Bar on Greenville Avenue. Look them up at ozonagrill.com. That's ozonagrill.com. Pony up, SMU. You expect high performance on the Mustangs home court and when you're on the road. That's why from the highway to the showroom, Park Place dealerships bring you the high performance experience you deserve. 18 luxury dealerships across the Metroplex, dedicated sales experts who cater to you, luxurious amenities that make every way wonderful, and a commitment to high performance excellence that makes Park Place feel like your place. Park Place, proud sponsor of SMU basketball. Learn more at parkplace.com.
The Bank for Texas is the Bank of Texas. You see, we're neighbors. Making decisions locally with a true understanding of our communities and a promise to be here, ready to help you achieve your long-term goals and dreams. Let's make a plan together. The Bank for Texas. The Bank for you. Bank of Texas. Long live your money.
Are you really into citrus? Ever been rolling down the street, sipping on lemon juice? Do you like bergamots and you cannot lie? You down with vitamin C that grows on trees? Are you really into citrus? If the answer's yes, roll into Central Market's Keepin' It Fresh Citrus Fest, dropping January 10th through 23rd, featuring the largest selection of big, bold citrus, plus items like Chipotle Lime Salmon, Meyer Lemon Marmalade, and more. Info at centralmarket.com. Visit our 5 DFW locations.
Last segment this week of the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic. Rich Phillips, the head coach of the SMU Mustangs, at Ozona Grill and Bar every Monday night from 7 to 8 and on 770 KAAM. Let's get the keys to success. Brought to you by Nissan. A win for your team is a win for you, too. There's nothing quite like it except driving a Nissan. Visit ChooseNissan.com and take on today. Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. One game on the road Wednesday, one game at home on Saturday, and we've talked about it. You need to right the ship here a little bit. What are keys to success for your team this week?
Keys to success at Wichita is you better play almost a perfect game. But any time you go on the road, there are a few things that have to happen, or I say have to, but most every time have to happen. You can't be turning the ball over a lot. You just can't, because it leads to too many bad things and gets crowds in the game. You've got to be fortunate to shoot the ball well on the road, of course, to overcome whatever it was that we figured out that the road, has to offer, and then you got to rebound great. You just do. You just got to control rebounding, which we're talking about the best team in the country maybe rebounding, but those are the keys. We're going to have to shoot the ball well. You can't control that. You're just hopeful, okay? But you can control your board effort, and you can control turnovers by your decisions that you make. So a couple of those things are controllable, and hopefully we'll do a great job of that.
Do you look much at where you are standings-wise and heading towards March-wise? Do you even focus on that at all?
I don't, and I didn't last year. I never have. I think it's I think that gets you off track. I think no matter what is going on, you got to live right in the moment and right in the day, and concentrate on nothing but how can we prepare today? How can we be a little better today? It doesn't matter if we're in first or 100th. It doesn't matter, because you can't do anything about that. The only thing you can do is worry about what you can control. And the only thing you control is your effort and your attitude on that day. And I think anything else is a distraction. So honestly, I never have done that. I never even look at stuff like that. I don't want to know. I just know that we have an opponent coming up, and we prepare and try to figure out how to make our team better.
This week, it's at Wichita State Wednesday night. That is a 6 o'clock tip. We'll have the pregame at 5:45 here on 770 KAAM. It's also on ESPNU. And then Saturday evening, back at Moody Coliseum against Tulane, and take note of the earlier than normal start time, a 5 o'clock start time on Saturday at Moody Coliseum. Get here for GameDay.com for limited tickets that are available for Saturday night. Coach, appreciate it. Pack warm.
Yeah.
It'll be chilly.
Thanks for the heads up on that.
You got it. I know.
Thanks for the heads
I know
up.
you're not used to how it is in Kansas.
Not
these
at all.
days, so.
Not at all.
We look forward to the trip, and thanks to everybody who is out here tonight at Ozona Grill and Bar.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
We'll see you here next Monday night once again for the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic.
From Learfield on the Mustang Sports Network, live from Humperdinck's on Greenville Avenue, the Fast Track with Tim Jankovic has been brought to you by BMW. Test drive one at your local Dallas-Fort Worth BMW